Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Layers podcast. I'm your host, Kara Christensen. And on this podcast, we uncover the facts, the myths, the good, the bad, the ugly behind the fitness, health, wellness industries. So, welcome. I'm going over here. Have to wait and go live on Instagram still. But that's okay. Uh, you guys, hi, welcome to Tuesday. Wonderful, wonderful Tuesday for those of you guys that are Catholic. This is considered Fat Tuesday for us because Lent is about to start. So today is Fat Tuesday, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, and what you do on Tuesday, they call it Fat Tuesday because they want you to fatten up because you're about to go on a fast, your fasted journey for Christ, and that starts tomorrow, fasting. That's why you fatten up the day before, and then you fast on a Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, and then so begins Lent, which is 40 days as Jesus did 40 days in the desert, 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. For us, this is us paying homage to our religion, and we go into a fasting state where you give up something. It doesn't have to be food. You do give up meat on Fridays, but you give up something that you absolutely love and that you normally feel like you can't go without each day. And that's the thing you give up for Lent, giving homage to what Jesus Christ did for us in the desert. So it's actually really a beautiful tradition, and I really love it. And sometimes you want to kind of cleanse yourself, impurity. Some people give up alcohol. Some people give up cigarettes, the addiction type of stuff. Food is one of the big things that we are addicted to, and most of that is sugar and carbs. So I know that's a big one that people give up is sugar and carbs, fried foods, such things like that. But so today is Fat Tuesday for all of my Catholics out there who are going into this lentil season. My prayers are with you, and it's going to be a very good one. I feel like 2025 is going to be a good year for many people. I feel like it's going to be a great place for leveling up. So, 2025 to me is going to be something much bigger and greater than what I had ever anticipated. So, I'm actually very excited about it. I'm very excited to see what is to come. I'm excited to see what's to come of this year, not just for me, but for so many of the people that I love and care for. And I feel like I'm definitely, oops, going to see some big changes. So welcome to you guys that are just coming in. Sorry, I am trying to shuffle back and forth. You guys know the deal here is just like a lot. But anyway, so yeah, I am lentil season starting tomorrow. Today is Fat Tuesday. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. So for my other brothers and sisters out there in the Catholic community, I know that we are about to give up the things that we love the most, thing or things. I know Fridays is no meat, and some people tend to fast on Fridays, full fast, no food. But what are you guys going to give up? Anybody else out there celebrate Lent? 40 days of giving up something, and then we celebrate the welcoming back of on Easter. So it's a big time for us. It's a big time for Catholics right now. And that's what we're rolling into. So for today, for Fat Tuesday, I plan on having a lot of the things that I'm not going to be having, which is going to be fried foods, sweets, things of that nature that I'm giving up. I'm not going to have any alcohol, which I don't normally anyway, but I do like red wine every now and again. So I plan on having some red wine today. Going to give up sweets, so I'm going to definitely have a piece of cake, maybe some dark chocolate. I love me some dark chocolate with sea salt and caramel. Sometimes I do indulge in that. So I'm going to have a little bit of that here on this Fat Tuesday before rolling into Ash Wednesday tomorrow and getting up giving up those things for the next 40 days. So it's interesting. It's interesting because you really realize many things during this Lent season. You realize how dependent you are on certain things, how much you indulge and you don't realize, even if you think you're being good, really realizing, oh wow, maybe I do have that more often than I thought. But you also realize that you're doing it for something greater than you, right? Like you're doing it for the person that died on the cross for you, for the person that is, so pure and so innocent. And just imagine, right? God sacrificing his only son for our sins. So it's quite a deeper journey if you take it that way. How we dive into it as Catholics, as Christians. I'm not sure if what other religions. I grew up in the Church of Christ. I converted to Catholicism when I was getting married. So I didn't grow up doing Lent, but I often wonder why, as the daughter of a preacher's daughter. I never grew up, we never grew up doing Lent. I don't understand why though. So I know that for me, it's a deeper journey inward. It's not just about the things you take away, like the food and the physical things, whatever it is you take. Some people, cigarettes and alcohol, and some people cursing. Some people, it's like selfish desires, stuff like that. Whatever it is that you feel the most connected to in a spoiled sense, like a spoiled. Some people, it's retail therapy. They're used to going out and spending money, or spending money on their nails or their feet or their hair or whatever. It's a plethora of things. It's whatever is most desired to you, and you giving that up for Lent is is what is asked of you to reap the reward and benefits of your life. Like if you have a life that you walk with Christ and you feel like you have so many blessings in your life, right? You have your hands, your feet, your legs, you're able to walk, you're able to see, you have a roof over your head, you have a job, so many blessings. If you can count those blessings and they seem to be endless when you look around you, all the beautiful blessings, then you know that you're doing right, you're doing good in the world, you're putting out something good to be able to have something back. And if you're not, maybe this is a time in the lentil season to look inward and say, hey, my life's not going so great. Or maybe you don't even know God, or you don't walk with Christ at all. Maybe that's a time you look inward and say, hey, I'm not having the benefits. I'm not seeing the life that I wanted. I feel alone in the world. And that's another thing that I feel like when our daughter was going through her journey with fighting cancer at such a young age, I don't know. People are like, how could you not get mad at God? I'm like, this isn't God's work. This is the devil's work. This is the devil's deed. He tries to take down those that are the closest to God, the purest and the clearest of conscience. That's the ones that the devil and his minions go after. So if it's not for your walk with Christ, how can you even get through it? Is usually my response. I couldn't get through this if I didn't have God and my guardian angels on my side. I couldn't get through the darkest hours. So I don't ever attest the bad things that happen is because of God. It's the bad things that happen as the devil's deeds, and our faith in God is what is keeping her clear and free. And our power of prayers with our community and our church is what broke that spell on her. And she is now cancer free. And I attest that 100% to my faith in God and being a Christian, and the power in prayers, the power in numbers. It's like the law of attraction, right? They say, like reading that book, The Magic, and the magic is all about the law of attraction and what you put out into the world and what you get back. And the power of prayers for our daughter during that time was so immense. And you can't have another testimony. I mean, she had in the stage 4 of her kidney cancer, and miraculously they couldn't find it, burst in her body. They cleared it out, and miraculously they couldn't find a tiny microcell of cancer. And this thing was huge. It was like ginormous. It burst in her little tiny body, and they couldn't find it anywhere. Hi, Bo. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome back. Nope, the fires aren't near us, thankfully, but we are praying for those that are out there that are dealing with this. And the rains are coming. So, Lord, please just put those fires out and save those homes that it's heading towards and be with those that have, sadly been a victim of this. But I do believe in the power of prayer, and the law of attraction is something that I do also feel like falls in line with that, right? Because then all these people putting out those positive vibes and positive prayers for her soul, and now she's coming up 4 years cancer free, and I 100% that's her testimony to God. God and saved her life, and this lentil season, in every lentil season since then, for the 40 days we fast for her to have a long, healthy, clear life, and you fast for the protection of yourself, your loved ones, people that you care for, our country, our world, those children. I'm always praying and fasting for the children who have been taken into sex slavery. It's horrible. So I pray for them, but I also pray for the souls of the people who commit such acts, that they have a change of heart and they don't see children like that, right? Because I feel like you can't just pray for one thing and not want to pray for the other. I don't just pray for the good people in the world or the people that are victimized. I also pray for those people who are doing the deeds, who are creating the sins, because nobody's soul needs to be prayed for more than them to have a change of heart and to turn around and do the right thing. So in this lentil season, when you give up something that is so meaning and so special for you, I like to give it up in the name of something, right? So in the name of my daughter having a wonderful, healthy, happy life and be able to have children, even though this cancer took one kidney from her and took her gallbladder and took her ovary, one of her ovaries, be able to have children, be able to have a long, healthy life in general. So fasting for something, fasting for those kids who are going through such horrible times with abuse or this trafficking is always on my mind in every single prayer of mine. And I always fast for that in the lentil season, for them and for the abusers to stop their abuse and to have a change of heart and to find God and to not be in that space of mind. Because if you stop that from happening, then there will be nobody to do those things, right? So in the perfect world, but all we can do is pray and hope that though, at least for the bare minimum, those children's minds are protected and they're having this out of body experience, and this is not going to affect them long term. They're not even going to remember because they're too young and too little, and God's going to protect them in their spirit and hopefully bring this to an end. That would be the dream. But so moving on to something a little more lighthearted, going into this topic today, talking about the at-home workouts. There are so many at-home workouts. Which one do you choose for yourself? Which one works better? Which one's right for you and your circumstances? We're going to get into that. But first, I want to talk about my sponsor. Thank you. Thank you. Bo, do you have TikTok? I don't know if you have TikTok, but I'm not seeing it live on TikTok, and I just want to make sure. I just want to check in on that. But my sponsor, Metamucil. You guys want to stay regular, Metamucil is the way to do it. You take one scoop and you put it into your water, mix it up. I just use like one of those little 8-ounce glasses. I mix it up and I drink it down. You have to drink it down quickly because it will turn into like a gelatin, but it tastes kind of like Sunny D. Any old schoolers out there know what I'm talking about? Sunny D. So it's really tasty. Like I actually want to drink it. There's no aftertaste or weird aftertaste, but it helps you stay regular if you don't get enough fiber in your diet, which sometimes I don't. And especially when I'm fasting, I don't have a lot of fiber in the diet. Mainly if I'm having any food, it might be like a bone broth. So I will take my Metamucil. It does keep you regular. It does clear all that stuff out. So during my fasted state, I really love to do this so it gets all the yuck up out of my body. But Metamucil is the way to go. It's even good for kids. You can use this with toddlers. You can use this for any age. This is any age, any stage. It's safe on your colon. I just had my colonoscopy, you guys. Yes, I'm there. Here we go. Welcome. And they said while I was in the colonoscopy, they said, welcome to the club. I was like, I think this might be the first club I never actually wanted to be a part of. Who wants to be a part of the colonoscopy club? But I'm happy to announce that it was all free and clear, and there were no polyps to find and be worried of. And I think there were a couple little things, but it was like particles of just like, not to be gross, but feces and not polyps. So that was a really good thing. And I was really, really grateful. I prayed hardcore going into that because no one wants to, go into that and hear bad news. So welcome to 45, you guys. Oh, welcome to 45, right? So moving into this topic, if you guys are trying to level up like we've been talking about in 2025, right? And you know that there is a plethora of videos out there for people to indulge in for at-home workouts. Please, I beg you, make sure you are going to a source that is going to be good for you, for your age, for your type, what type of workout, and someone who is going to be explaining, like I do. I'm not trying to be biased here and say you only have to watch my workout videos, but I am also, like I said, on my subscription page on Facebook. If you become a subscriber, you get my workouts that I do each day. It's only $9.99 a month. I have my daily workouts that I only stream to my subscribers. So that's at Kara Chris TV. So if you go onto the Facebook page at Kara Chris TV and subscribe there, then you will have access to the daily workouts that we do there. But drink warm water. Yes. Yeah. Water is good. Sorry, I'm in and out of these comments. But yes, so go to there. If you don't, just go to someone that's going to help you, that's actually going to show you how to do the moves. Like there's so many people. I know there's so many videos out there, you guys. So many cute girls wearing basically nothing and doing these great workouts, but make sure that you're going to someone who's going to help you with the proper form. If you are 45 and over, 60 and over, 50 and over even, let's get real, okay? Unless you're in optimal performance, you shouldn't be doing what some of these 20-year-olds are doing, where they're like, jerking around in their movements, and they're not doing things with proper form. They're not keeping their knee behind their toe. They're just doing things that you should not be doing, and then they're getting an injury zone. And why am I talking about this? Because I have clients coming to me with injuries that I have to rehabilitate back to just being able to do normal workouts, because they have been trying workouts that they see online on social media. They're going to Instagrams or TikToks or Pinterest, and they're looking at these videos. YouTube, you could post up anywhere. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be have any knowledge other than you just decided you wanted to start working out and you want to look cute doing it. So you have a cute outfit, you got your hair and makeup done, and now people want to go on and they want to follow and watch your workouts. But maybe you were never taught properly, and now you're engaging in showing workouts to other people who are now doing it improperly. And I'm getting those people. I want to start a good workout regimen, but now I have this issue with my wrist because I was doing this, or I have an issue with my elbow, or my hips a little out of focus because I've been doing X, Y, and Z. So this is not the first rodeo of someone coming to me with this issue. This is several occasions. People are imploring my services, saying, "Hey, I really want to work this out, but first, can you help me rehabilitate myself back to just normal so we can now start a workout?" So, just trying to put that out there. Be mindful. Be mindful of the places that you get your information from. Make sure, remember, if you're looking up anything with health, wellness, anything with inside of your body, ready to write this down for those listening to you on audio only. WebMD, okay, healthline.com, or Mayo Clinic. Those are three very reputable by the health and wellness organizations, the doctors who run those organizations that are on the board and the panel. Those are trusted, tried and true. Go there to get your knowledge. Don't be deep diving on, John Doe over there has no licensing or any kind of professionalism in the industry and telling you guys like it is. No. Same goes for your workouts. Same.
About the best exercise for losing weight. I know so many of you that are building fasting lifestyles, you're trying to figure out how to lose weight. And I've done a lot of videos on all the different ways you can pair fasting with different diet styles to lose weight. So go watch those if you're deep on a weight loss.
So, for those of you that didn't hear me for the past few minutes on my mic, I don't understand what is going on. I thought I fixed that mic scenario. So, this is for people 40, men and women, right? 40 and over. The best types of workouts is what we're on about with Dr. Mindy right here. But also, I mean, this could be for anybody. What I was saying prior to my microphone going out is if you guys are going to get somebody that watch somebody online to do at-home workouts and you want to have somebody that's reputable and you're not going to me, which I highly suggest because I am very good about make sure you're doing proper form. Make sure the person is telling you proper form. I have so many people coming to me that are telling me they are injured and they need a way back to just getting normal. And with the rehabilitation program that I have, they need a way to go back to being normal before we can even get started with working out. So you want to work towards your goal, not towards injury. Get that? So make sure you're going to someone that is going to help you with that. Make sure they are showing you the proper way when they're doing it. Proper form is everything. Otherwise, you're creating injury and then you're out of the game. You're out of the game for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, who knows, 8 months, depends on what that injury is and how long you've been working on it. So, all right, here we go. This is Dr. Mindy, and she is one of those tried and true and trusted doctors that I go to. Dr. Mindy and Dr. Berg are another. He's mainly for my nutrition and health. I love his stuff that he breaks it down for you in a way that you can really understand it. That's Dr. Berg, Berg. And then Dr. Mindy, she's really great about the workout part of it, but also she's hits hard on menopause and perimenopause. So it's really for men and women that are past their 40s. So that's why I think it's very important because not all exercises are created equally for the person who is doing them. So you really have to know your body. You have to know what state your body is in at what time of your life. So if you're in your 40s and 50s, it may not be the same as if when you're in your 60s, because now in your 40s and 50s, you're fighting that perimenopause thing, right? So then once you go into your 60s, now you're out of it. You're out of menopause for the most part, and you are free and clear to do other things than what you are being hindered by in your 40s and 50s. So it's very important to pay attention and to know your body and to know the facts about your body and what your body's going through. Okay, so here we go. Dr. Mindy.
Reduction journey. There really is a lot of science behind weight loss, and I think that's important for us all to acknowledge. I know that for me, back in the 1970s and 80s when I was growing up, the old theory was if you wanted to lose weight, you just diet, you'd reduce calories down, and you worked out harder. And a lot of people are still using that theory, and that is the hardest way to drop weight, and many times actually will have you boomerang back. So in this video, I want to highlight one study in particular that really shows the effectiveness of one style of exercise that will not only will you be able to succeed at, because everybody can do this, but also that will give you a greater burn when it comes to fat loss and will improve your cardiovascular system the best. And it's time efficient. Here we go. The study I'm highlighting was actually in BMJ, British Medical Journal, which is a phenomenal journal. And the title of the study is The Effectiveness of High Intensity Interval Training for Weight Loss in Adults with Obesity. Now, high intensity training, if you have not heard about this, let me give you sort of the basic premise of it. What it is where you are pushing yourself to max for about 30 seconds, and then you're taking a rest for 90 seconds, and then you're going back and pushing yourself to a max for 30 seconds. So this was originally brought to our attention decades ago by a Japanese scientist named Tabata. You might have heard of Tabata training. That was like all the rage in all the gyms for a long time. And what he did is he took two groups. This was the old study. This is a new one. So don't worry, I'm getting to the new study. But in the old study, what Tabata figured out was that you could take two groups of people. One, you could put them on a treadmill, running or walking at the same rate for an hour. And the other one, he had do 30 seconds of full out hard running on the treadmill, followed by 90 seconds of walking, then back to 30 seconds, and then 90 seconds. And he had them do that for 20 minutes. Now, what he found in that study was that the people who were on the treadmill for an hour, yes, they burned calories, but the minute they got off that treadmill, they no longer were had any kind of metabolic uptick. There was nothing that kept.
So what she's saying is if you're on the treadmill for 1 hour, right? And then you go into this 20-minute thing, which I have a video doing. It's 20 minutes where you just sprint for 30 seconds. And I tell my clients when we get started, you don't have to sprint for 30 seconds. Even we're just doing 10. Like we'll just start a full run at 10 and then I'll have them walking for the rest of the time for maybe like 45 seconds. And then we'll go 10 and then 45 seconds walk. So you have to get comfortable, have to get used to getting them there first, and then you can increase over time. But it's a really great way, like what she's saying, the studies are tried and true. It's a great way to get that heart rate up and keep it up. Like I'm sorry, get your metabolic rate up and keep it up, not your heart rate. That would be terrible. You don't want your heart rate to stay up at 165 BPMs. But you want to get your metabolic rate up and keep it up. You want your metabolism burning that fat for you even when you're done with your workout. You don't want it to go back to stagnant to how it was, which is what she's saying. When you're doing something for an hour and you're running or walking for an hour, yes, it's a great benefit. You guys know I'm a huge advocate for the walking. But for keeping it elevated, for keeping your metabolic rate elevated, the high intensity interval trainings or the interval trainings in general are going to be your best bet. And they work with a much lesser time frame. So if you are physically capable, that's the way to go, in my humble opinion. That's what I would do for my own clients. I love to get a good deep stretch in. I think stretching is 80% of your health because you need to have a good flexibility. You need your joints to be working well for you. You need everything to be good and lubricated, and stretching is the way to do that. So it would be a huge part of stretching to warm up. Then you go into your workout and then you're doing your stretch at the end. So I make sure we have plenty of time to get that good deep stretch in the beginning. So let's continue on with her. Oh, where was that? Okay, I'm going back here.
their metabolism at that really high burn rate. Whereas the people, when he put them on the treadmill and he made them go all out where they could barely, move anymore, and this showed up in this study too, and then he had them do that in short bursts, that not only did their metabolic rate go up during the 20-minute exercise, but it stayed high for 24 hours. Now, this is critical because I don't know about you, but I want an exercise that's going to be short bursts, 20 minutes, very doable. And yeah, I'd like it to keep my metabolic rate going for the rest of the day, wouldn't you? So this is why HIIT training, this style of training, has become so popular, because it is the most time-efficient way to use exercise to drop weight. Now, what's interesting about this new study in BMJ, so it's not like completely new, it's 2021, but what they did is that they looked at 44 obese subjects. Now, it was a variation of men and women, so I just want to point out that we should have had it for my women, like it should have been all on women so that we could really see what this did, take the information for women out of this. But because we don't study women in a silo, we got to mix women in with men. We're sort of getting an average of the findings for both men and women. They compared one that was 60% of maximum oxygen peak, or what they call VO2 peak. And so that wouldn't be like full on out of breath. That would be like 60% of your ultimate limit that you can take cardiovascularly. That was one type of working out. They called it MICT. And then the other group did HIIT training, where you are going 100% of VO2 max. So you are like, you got to be out of breath. If you're going to play by these rules, when you work out, you got to be out of breath. Deal? Okay, now check this out. So with this HIIT style,
So that's the thing that you have to remember is so important. When I write out for my clients, maybe I'm meeting with them once or twice a week, but up to 5 days a week. But for some of them, I only meet with them a couple times a week, and then I write out their workouts for them. For the rest of the days, they always say the same thing. When they meet with me and we train, they're like, okay, this is not how I was training. Like when I say do 30 seconds all out, when I'm writing it up in your write-up and your workout, and I say 30 seconds all out, and you do the 30 seconds all out with me in my training session, and then you realize what 30 seconds all out should be, because how you were doing 30 seconds all out is not the same. I can promise you that. So when you're doing these workouts to actually get the benefit, you can't just be going from a walk to like a barely jog for 10, 15, 30 seconds, whatever your starting point is. When you're ready to get to that point, right? Like I told you with my clients, I build it up, right? I go 10 seconds, then we go to 15 seconds, we go to 20 seconds. The ultimate goal is 30 seconds, right? We're getting 30 seconds. And that 30 seconds, you're going from, okay, I'm going to a cool down walk. I'm talking about like a 1.5 to a 2. That's how many on your treadmill. 1.5 to a 2. So you're doing a cool down walk. And then I'm pushing you up to a 6.57, 7.58. That's the difference. You're not going from a 2 to a 4. That to me is going from a walk to a speed walk. You can do that if that's where you are, because if that's where you are, let's just say you're in your 50s or you're in your 60s or 70s or 80s, and you're in around where you just can't do those things, or maybe you have bad knees, bad hips, and this is where we're going. I'm still going to push you to maybe even a 4.5 or a 5 speed walk, because you can do that. And it's totally good, safe on your hips and your knees and your joints. However, everything depends on who you are, what you've been through, what your level is, that kind of thing. But if you are doing HIIT, mainly it's because you're physically capable. And if you're physically capable of doing it and you're not barely out of breath at the end of that 30 seconds, then you're not doing it right. Okay? I'm telling you right now, you're not doing it right. You have to push yourself, like I tell my clients, like you're being chased, or like you're in a competition and there's $1 million on the line. What are you going to do? And I'll be like, what do you guys, all you got? Is that all you got? Give it to me. Bring the heat. So I'm usually right there in the ear and giving you that motivation and telling you like how I am in my workouts. If you guys are subscribers and you're subscribers to my workouts, you know that I'm getting in there, I'm giving you motivation, I'm making sure you're keeping your alignment in check, you're got your back flat, you got your knees behind your toes and all of the things, and make sure to keep check on each time. You got your wrist right up under your shoulder if we're doing planks or side planks or any of that. So it is something that I definitely keep on with you about, so you know that you're not losing form. Because when you start to lose form and you try to do the push through, which I don't even use that term with my clients because I don't like any push through. I push if you're gonna mentally do it and you're capable of mentally getting yourself there, but your body is saying no, and now you are working towards injury and you're not working on the goal. So you always have to look and check yourself. That is what I love about doing these HIIT exercises, because it is as much as you can do in that time frame as you possibly can in that 30 seconds, and then done. Like, you don't, if you can only do 5 reps all out and that's it, then that's it. You don't push through injury. You don't push through, a lot of times that is injury. Your mind might be saying yes, but your body might be saying no. And that's what you have to pay attention to, is your body. It's so important. It is so important. So that's why it's so important that you are taking advice and you're doing these classes, these online workouts from somebody who is going to actually get you to where you need to be without injury, and actually building where you want to build without that injury. Okay, here we go.
HIIT training, they shortened it even more. They changed the parameters a little more compared to the old Tabata's information. They did 3 to 7 repetitions of a 3-minute all out. So instead of a 30-second sprint, they did 3 minutes all out. So I guess that would still be around a 20-minute workout if you did 7 repetitions of 3 minutes all out at 100%, and then they did a minute and a half rest in between each repetition. So if you want to mimic this, it's a little different version from Tabata. So I just want to point that out. Now, here's what they found, is that they did it every day for 12 weeks. And at the end of a 12-week period, not only did the HIIT training group lose more weight, but their cardiovascular system was greatly improved. So they started to see some real reduction in poor cardiovascular health, turnaround from the HIIT training that they didn't see from people who were just doing the moderate training at about 60% of their VO2 max. So that was really cool. The second thing that they saw was that because it was such a short type of exercise, that people were able to stick with it. So there was no boredom. The dropout rate was significant.
So what she's saying about 60% of your VO2, that's when you're pushing yourself to a moderate level and you're not pushing yourself. I don't even go by the oxygen that you're breathing. I go by your beats per minute of your heart, because you want to always, with my clients, I want to always keep a check on their heart rate, because some people have regular heartbeat, some people have heart issues and they're on heart medication with me. So I keep track of all of their vitals, and I keep track of all of their history, because I need to know, make sure that they're in my care, that we're doing things by, what their body's capable of. But it's the heart rate. So I'm putting that heart rate up to like between 160 and 170 to hit that ultimate sweet spot, what I call it. And then I'm bringing it right back down to whatever they're resting. So it's important to know what your resting heart rate is. If you are just sitting, know what that heart rate is. If you're just chilling on the couch or in your chair at work, look down. At this point, if you're going into your journey, your health and fitness and wellness journey, and you're leveling up in 2025, you've got some type of wearable, and you could get one for $15 on Amazon. You've got a wearable that is going to tell you how many steps you're taking in a day and your heart rate. So you really know what your resting heart rate is, right? And then get outside and just do a normal walk normal walk or on your walking pad or a treadmill, know what your walking heart rate is, right? For walking, and then do a brisk walk, more of like a speed walk, and then know what your heart rate is. And then go into a jog, know what your heart rate is, and then a full out sprint. So you want to know your heart rate, your hardest effort, your hardest running as fast as you can. When I'm doing it with my clients and we're doing it outside, I go from I usually have a pole marker, like we're out on the a lot of times we're out on a sidewalk. So I do from pole to pole. So from pole to pole, which the light poles that they have put out, I go from pole to pole. That I want your absolute maximum effort, your maximum running effort, like you're being chased, and then we check that heart rate, and then you bring all the way back down to what your resting heart rate is. So that's what give enough time to bring it back down. Sometimes you have to take longer than 4 minutes. Sometimes it's 2 minutes for the clients that the heart rate way up there. It takes a little while. And how do you get your heart rate back? You breathe through your nose, deep breaths like that, and out through the mouth. You're just working on bringing that heart rate back down. But when you bring that heart rate back down, now you're into that metabolic manipulation. So then you're bringing that heart rate right back up. And that is the 20-minute goal. The 20-minute goal to keep doing that same process, heart rate back up and heart rate back down, whether it's doing that with high knees or burpees or jumping jacks or whatever your push is, a sprint. You're doing that for a sprint to get your heart rate up. Sometimes it's only 20 seconds. 30 seconds to get to there is what you have. 30 seconds to get your heart rate up to that part. So let me just change my mic. That's all I'm going to do. Let's go here. There, that should limit that. So going there, thank you, Bo. So getting your heart rate up and bringing it back down, getting it up and bringing it back down. You want to get it all the way up as fast as you can and then bring it back down to that resting heart rate. And that is what's going to get you into the zone of burning fat in your metabolic rate, where it's going to keep your metabolism in that fat burning stage for 24 to 36 hours after you're done working out. That's the beauty of this study that she's talking about the Tabata method or the HIIT interval training. So for me, I do that. If my clients are capable of doing that, that's what we do. If my clients have, all the ailments that hinder them from doing that, then we start with that walking and we get in that walking zone, and whatever physical you can do is going to be beautiful. But here are some of the most beautiful benefits of at-home training you can do. And let me just show you. These are some of the things on my channel. I'm going to show you some of these are back starting with my journey back in the day, but this is just something I pulled up real quick. So these are Tabata. This is Tabata training, so it's a 10-minute. So Tabata is 8 minutes, right? So with this one, I'm doing a little bit of a workout, like a stretch to warm up. And then I always like to do a stretch to cool down with all of my workouts. I make sure we fit a stretch in there. If you're working out with me on my channel at Kara Chris TV on Facebook is where I have those live subscriptions where we do our live workouts through the week. But it's only $9.99 for the month, and you get to do these with me weekly. So if you are interested in doing those, go over to my Facebook at Kara Chris TV and, sign up. So we'll do those workouts all through the week. Those are live only for subscribers. And I make sure we always do the stretch. Why is the stretch so important? Because we don't want to create injury, right? We're going to be doing exercises that are going to sometimes be fast in repetition, and you need to make sure that your joints are lubricated, your body is connected by bands, that your bands are stretched out and you don't have any tightness from sitting in your chair all day, or maybe you're just beginner, whatever status you're in. Stretching is key to staying out of injury zone. That's the goal, staying out of injury zone and only working towards the things that are important, which are toning up, getting stronger, and getting more tone, losing that weight, losing those inches. Sometimes you're not losing so much weight as you are inches, and the inches are the fat. So the fat doesn't weigh as much as the muscle. So if you're losing fat but you gained all this muscle weight and maybe you got bigger biceps, stronger shoulders. I work a lot on the arms and the legs with ladies, but for men, I'm just working mainly on that high intensity interval training to keep their body and their physique in a particular status for, staying healthy. A lot of guys already are doing their workouts in the gym and getting their strength training in at home or in the gym. So my main goal for them, a lot of the ones that I'm training, is for their cardiovascular, to keep that stamina up. So this is a 10-minute Tabata. Tabata is 8 exercises at 20 seconds a piece and 10-second rest. So you're doing 20 seconds, as many as you can, 10-second rest, and you do 8 exercises. So it equals to 4 minutes. So when I'm doubling up, sometimes I'll do 2 rounds of Tabata, but you can get a lot done in 4 rounds, just the 4 minutes of the Tabata. So I do have a workout that is just working out only that if all you have is 5 minutes, or I like to say 6 minutes. We're going to do 1 minute of just kind of stretching the whole body, waking it all up, the 4-minute Tabata routine, and then 1 whole minute afterwards, cooling the body back down so you can go. So if you only have 6 minutes, then this is your jam. This is a 10-minute. Let me see where it is so I can play it. So this is a 10-minute one that I have. That is with the bands. I am a huge advocate of the resistant.
Back that knee at all costs. You got 4 seconds. 3.
So these bands are so great because
1.
you can do so
Done.
many things.
Switching to sides. That's right. This time we're going to go lunge out. Same
I'm
thing.
doing my shoulders.
Grabbing it from the palms or coming on the inside. That's it.
How to do
Up to the side.
At the beginning,
and
I
down.
did more description.
Side and down.
What it is that
side
we're going to be
and
doing.
down. Side.
So
grab it up. Let's go. And pull back and down. Engage that core nice and tight. Inch your fingers down if you need more of a pull.
So great.
There we go. Remember, breath is key to energy. In through the nose, out through the mouth. There you go. Keep pulling it back. 2, 1. That's it. Now we're going
all
the way back, coming up.
All of these workouts are on my YouTube page at Kara Chris TV, which I try and get all my workouts on there. But if you are a subscriber on my Facebook page, you guys are going to be doing those live workouts with me, and then they'll be stored in there just for the subscribers to be able to. You can go back and do that workout again as many times as you want through your week, but I keep each one new and fresh so it doesn't get old, right? You don't want to. For me, it's boring to go to a workout and you're doing the same old thing. Some people like that, but that's just not my style. I like to keep it mixed up. I like to keep it changed up. I like to keep it exciting and new and fresh. Some of the moves you're going to know, but it might be in a different sequence. So it's not like you're learning new moves every time. It's just the sequence of it. I like to keep the music, pumped up and different and just ready to get that vibe and get that good workout in. So, yeah, but these are really good. These bands are in my bio on YouTube at Kara Chris TV. All the things that I like to use, which is just mainly 3 different sets of workouts. Okay, let me see if this will paste in here. Whoops. There we go. Those are the 3 different types. I don't know if those showed up on your end, but they should have. Those are the 3 different types of, let me just unplug it all together. There. Now it should be all the way off, though. So those are the 3 types of workout bands that I use, and they're for different things. So when I'm doing my workout, I will tell beforehand, like, these are the bands. If you guys want to do bands, you can, or you can just simply just do body weight. You don't even have to use bands, but the workouts that we're going to do each week are going to be either body weight at home workouts, or they're going to be with these bands. So I just put them in the description. There's longer bands, there's the short thin bands that I use a lot for arms, and then there's the thicker leg bands that I use for the legs. So those are the options of the bands for the ones that we might possibly use when you're doing the workouts with me on my Facebook Lives. So moving along, so these are the bands. I just wanted to give you a little example of the resistant bands that.
Here we go. And these are gonna be straight leg pull downs. So they're coming up like this. Pull it nice and tight by your head. Pull it down, down, pull it down. That's it. Working on flexibility, getting that hamstring, bottom of that glute.
I can't wait for summer.
If you want to engage your abs a little more, pick your head up.
So these workouts are underneath my fitness playlist on my YouTube channel at Kara Chris TV. Remember, if you want to get involved with those live workouts, it's on Facebook, my Facebook Live, and I might try and do them live on TikTok too. But right now it's just on Facebook because a month. If you guys want to get through a whole like training thing, how I do when I'm with my clients, then join over at Facebook, and it's still the same at Kara Chris TV. And let me go to some of the other examples of what I do with the bands. That is, oops, where am I? There we go. Let me show you these other examples over here with the bands, and that's the Tabata. So a lot of these are 10-minute, 20-minute at most. I answer your questions when you're there on the lives with me. And let me see, did I share that properly? Yeah, I did. So these are some of the other things that I use is this little ball. I think it was like $5 or $6 on Amazon, also on my YouTube page. I will put them on my Facebook page for all of the people that are there. I put these links up too. But total gym that I use, right? The total things that I use with my at-home gym with my workouts for my subscribers on my Facebook Lives is around $50. So that includes all the bands that I showed you, and this little yoga ball, which I'm about to show you right here. This little yoga ball is my favorite friend. It's also great for people that are when we're doing lean back workouts and you have a tight lower back and your back tends to stay tight, and we haven't done enough training together to get that your lower back stretched out the way it needs to be. Then that little ball, it's a tiny little yoga ball, is so good for that lower back. It kind of it stretches that lower back out to keep it from injury while we still do those core engaging workouts. So it's really good to have that ball. It's only like I said, $5 or $6 on Amazon, but I do have all the links to those things in my page, on my page for my subscribers on Facebook for my weekly workouts, and then for you guys on YouTube. So go there to get those. I did drop them in the link. I'm not sure if they showed up on your end or not, but I'll try and make sure I put those links up on all of the pages that I'm streaming to right now from this platform. Okay, so this is a way to use this little ball. Let's see right, where is this? Where is this guy? Where is this? I'm trying to find it. There it is. Okay. So right now I'm squeezing it. Now see how it's behind my back? Help that. Okay. So that's that. But some of the other workouts that I love. Hold on, let me put this to this one we watched today. Remember, everything that we watch is let me just show you guys how to do it, okay? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go to a screen share. Let me go to Dr. Mindy right there. Okay, let's just go back here. All right, let me show you guys how to get to where I'm telling you where all these videos are, okay? So this is my channel, right? At Kara Chris TV. So when you come to my channel, make sure you can see that. When you come to my channel, you're going to go down here where it says, whoopsies, where it says playlist. See where it says there's podcasts. You see home, videos, shorts, live, podcasts, and playlists. Click on the playlist. Okay. When you click on the playlist, the very first file you see that comes up, let me make sure you're able to see that. The very first one right there is called Podcast InfoVids. That's where all of these, right here, that's where all of these are, all the videos that I show here on the podcast. So you guys can go back and reference them yourselves and rewatch if you missed something. Anything that I share here on Behind the Layers is going to be in that file right there on my main page on YouTube. So you go to my page on YouTube, you have to put the @ symbol at Kara Chris TV, and then you're going to go to the playlist section and it's podcast InfoVids. There you're going to find everything we talk about here so you can remember, so you don't have to, if you're listening to this on audio and you didn't get to see it live, and this is just the audio version, go there. You want to be able to watch it in real time. So go there. Let me move this out of my way. There. Go there, and then you can watch it on your own time, and you can see all the things. You can write it down, some of the things that I can't even pronounce, so you can get the proper spelling if you want to look them up yourselves. So I make sure I compile a list there on Podcast InfoVids underneath my page on YouTube. So at Kara Chris TV. So here are some of the things, moving on, that some of the at-home workouts that you can do that might be right for you. Sometimes you are just getting back into it and you're not feeling really motivated or inspired, or maybe you just got an injury, or maybe you haven't worked out for a while, you put on a lot of weight, you're in a more obese state, and your joints just can't handle it until you get some of those lbs off. So chair workouts are a really good option for people that are in that status. So let's go to the chair workout so you can see a little bit of an example of what a chair workout might be. And let me see if that is this. Nope, that's not. That's the floor workout. I think this might be a chair. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so chair workouts might be more of your option. So see right here, we're going to go to that left-hand part of the screen. So you can see that the chair workout that they're doing is very engaging in, let me see, can you see that on your end? There we go. So this is for a nice, this is a nice beginning stature for somebody who is just getting back into things. They're not really quite sure, if their body is able to be doing a lot of standing stuff yet. So you want to kind of wake your body up, is how I like to say it for my clients, like get their body in motion again. Chair workouts are a fantastic way. Some people underrate the chair workout and think you're not going to get a great workout, but you get such a fantastic workout from being in your chair. And it also offers stability for people that maybe in an older range and stability is becoming an issue. But especially if you are doing a chair workout and you are just trying to get some of those lbs off and rehabilitate some of the muscle atrophy that you've had over the years, it's a great way to get back into the swing of things, is how I would like to say it. So there are so many different, like I told you before, so many different chair workouts that you want to, that you can dive into, but you want to make sure that you're going to a place that is going to give you a good option for a chair workout that they are explaining to you properly how to use good form. So the good form meaning you're being taught in real time how to do it properly. You're watching it, you're taking notes, and you're doing it so you're not working towards injury. Like those people that are coming to me, the clients that I'm taking on, that are saying, hey, I was doing this workout from watching somebody on YouTube or Instagram, and they were doing these quick movements, and now I'm having some knee problems, or I rolled my ankle, or I'm having wrist or elbow problems, and we need to work on rehabilitation first now before we can even get to building those muscles and tightening the sections that they're trying to work towards. So make sure you're doing the proper form, you guys. It's so important. Another one, great workout to do that is going to keep these are things that you're doing is when you're trying to get started out, or maybe you have some ailments that maybe you're more fragile, you're older, you've gone through injury, what have you, and you want to do something that's not so high intensity interval training type of thing. These are great. There's so many great options out there. And like the chair workout is really great. And also the workout that you would do for the wall workouts are amazing. There's so many great wall workouts. Let me just see. Let me share that page with you guys. So wall workouts are, which page is that? This one, here we go. Wall workouts are going to be something like this. Let me click on this. Let me lower that volume. Okay, so as you can see, oh no, why is it not playing? Okay, there. You see how she's like just using that wall for guidance. So you're just laying down on your back. You're really just focusing on using the wall as a guide in so many levels. Like you're just trying to reach up. So some people that are doing these workouts, they don't do the workout full up, right? So you're doing a crunch, but you're not going full crunch. So it's a great guide to use the wall, because now you have a focus on what to do, and that's trying to get up enough, squeeze that core up enough to touch the wall. So now you're coming up enough and touching the wall, and then back down. So now you got a full deep squeeze in that core. So how you get there is you lay down on your back, you're scooting your body towards the wall, and then you are like kind of inching your butt till your butt touches the wall. And then you're able to open your legs up and then reach through and touch the wall, and then back down, reach through and touch the wall and back down. That's a great way to do it. And then moving into the legs, where you're doing kind of like what you would do as a lunge or a squat, but you're doing them with the wall, which I think she shows it somewhere right here as an example. A lot of mine are live, so I don't have a full. Here we go. Feet on the leg. So you see what I'm talking about with the knee. So when the knee goes up, the knee goes past. This is a beautiful one too. You always make sure that your shoulder is right over that wrist. So that's perfect form. And right here, you're using the wall again as a gauge of how far you should go up with your feet. So she's just got her hands, and I like to place my hands almost flat on the wall right there. But when you're using the wall for your squats, you want to make sure that your feet, your knees do not go past your toes. You always want to make sure your knees do not go past your toes, because then you're putting too much pressure, whether you're doing it on the wall or you're doing it from a chair or you're doing it from standing position. You always want to make sure that those knees are behind the toes. It's so important. You cannot let them go forward, because you're putting too much pressure on the ligaments. And now you're slowly working your way towards a ligament issue, and that can lead to swelling and all sorts of issues that are going to hinder you and hold you back, because now you have to work on rehabilitation rather than working on, exercising the muscle. So some of the other great wall workouts, let's see what these are. These are on your bed, but there is so many workouts that, remember, you have to make sure you're paying attention. And to know that you're paying attention, the only way you're able to pay attention is because you know the knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. So if you didn't know to look for that, then you might now, when you might be looking at somebody who's doing their workouts, you might be like, oh, wait, they're doing it wrong. And how are they out there putting their stuff out there for people to follow along with if they're not even doing the proper form themselves? So this is why I'm having clients come to me needing rehabilitation before they get into the actual building of their muscles again. So they've got all sorts of things here on Pinterest. And I do like some of these that are by doctors and physicians, because they are actually going to show you the proper form. So when you're doing a plank, you always want to make sure when you are looking, I like to be somewhere where I can look into a mirror at first. So they make those mirror. They have like long rectangular mirrors at Walmart for like $10. I would invest in one of those mirrors so you can learn your form. You can prop it up against the wall if you're just learning how to, pay attention to your form. And then this is what I say. Get your mirror so you can look at yourself in the mirror and see what your form is. You want to make sure that your form, your arm, if you're doing any kind of plank, mountain climber, burpees, holding plank, just regular holding plank, you always want to make sure that your shoulder is right over your wrist. You want that shoulder exactly right over your wrist. You want that in line. And then when I say, when you're looking in the mirror and you're seeing your form proper, you want to be able to now in your mind close your eyes and feel what that form feels like. Feel what that form feels like, because you may not always have a mirror at your disposal when you're working out. A lot in the springtime, in the summer, I'm doing my workouts outside, so we get that fresh air and that good vitamin D. So I also promote other people that are watching my workouts on their iPad or on their tablets or their phones to bring outside, and let's go do this outside to get that good vitamin D and that fresh air in. So you're not always surrounded by a mirror, but if you've taken the time to shut your eyes when you've looked in the mirror and you have done perfect form, right? You know what that perfect form is. Now, close your eyes, shift your body forward. We're in plank now, right? Shift your body forward a little bit and know that you're not in perfect form anymore, that your shoulders, your rotator cuffs are now they're overextending past your wrist and you're not in perfect form. That's almost like building a house, right? And the beams that are under your house are not like this. They're not straight up and down. Sorry for you audio folks. They're not straight up and down. They're at a slant. So if they're at a slant, what do you think is happening to the big structure, aka your body, that's on top of it over time of just wearing down on that joint right there when your beam is slanted as such, right? So now you have your body mass or your structure, your home that's built on a slanted beam, and that joint is going to over time give out because it can't take the pressure. That's not what it's built to do. So keeping that form straight up and down, right up underneath, is going to be where that's your sweet spot. That's your only spot to be working strategically and specifically on the muscle and not on the injury to the joint. You want to stay out of that, because when you injure that rotator cuff, you toast, you cooked, as the teenagers say, you're cooked. You are going to have to need rotator cuff surgery, and then, it's a whole thing. So staying in perfect form and knowing what that is. So when you're in that stance, when you're in your platform, you're doing your plank, right? Looking in the mirror, knowing that looks like, and then shifting forward and then shifting backwards, and feel what those feel like. You will feel a difference. You'll start to learn when you'll know, your body will know when you close your eyes and allow yourself to learn the feeling of being in an appropriate form and not, then you're actually learning how to pay attention to your body. So when you have that connection with mind and body, it's so good for you in so many ways, because now you'll be able to adjust in real time and you'll know, okay, my body's had it. I'm not able to hold perfect form right now because I'm too tired. Let me give it a break. And sometimes you only need 30 seconds, 45 seconds, maybe a minute or two to recuperate and let your body get out of that fatigue zone. Let your muscles come on the other side of that fatigue zone, and then you can jump back into it. But if you don't give your body that break and you just do that push through mentality, then you can just be pushing through to your doctor's office and getting that injury. And then you're going to be pushing yourself into not seeing the workout or the gym or any kind of results, because now you've injured yourself. So it's very important that you learn how that feels. And the only way you can learn how that feels is if you have a mirror nearby that you can see what you look like when you're doing proper form, and then shut your eyes and feel what that looks like. Feel how that proper form feels, and then shift yourself in and out of that proper form to where you're improper, and then feel what that feels like. So you know, okay, this is dead center. This is how I'm supposed to feel it. If I'm not feeling this, then I need to stop. That's how you know. That's why I teach my clients. I'm giving you that pro tip right now. And the same goes for your squats. When you are squatting down, okay, these are two of the things that get people injured. And these injuries can cause havoc in your body. And you don't want to go there. That's not where you're trying to be, especially if you're not a person that stretches, right? So this is huge knowledge for you to take with you. When you are doing your squat, if you look down, right, and your knees are past your toes, you're causing injury to your ligaments in your knee. Push back. And how do you do that? You push back. A lot of times people are squatting down and you're arching your back. You should never be arching your back when you're squatting down. You should have your back in straight alignment and your neck in straight alignment. So everything should be just a natural alignment from the side. Can you see how I am? Just a natural straight alignment. That's how you want your body to be when you're going back. And when you're going back, you're into your squat, you're going back as if you're feeling like someone's pulling your booty first. Your booty first. So you're squatting backwards like you're swinging your butt back, and then your knees should be straight behind your toes. So your knees, when you look down, your butt is swung back and your back is straight as it can be. Almost like I tell the ladies, I don't know about guys. I don't know. You guys don't ever have to pop a squat. But it's when you're popping a squat, you're just trying to swing your butt back as far as you can because you're trying to get it as far away from your feet as possible. That's the same kind of form that you're doing when you're going into a squat. And the same goes for if you're squatting down to pick something up. You don't simply bend over and bend your back. That is the quickest way to get that lower back injured and blow out those vertebrae down there. You have to, when you're bending down to pick something up, and it may look silly, but at least you're not going to be injured at the end of the day. You spread your legs wide past your shoulder blades. You spread them out wide. You squat down, same kind of method. You squat down with your neck in line, and you get all the way deep with your back straight as you can be. Straight like this, like swinging it out, back straight down till you pick that piece up, and then you stand back up again. It looks funny, but it doesn't matter. You're not there to be on the cover of Vogue or a runway show. You're trying to pick something up off the ground without injuring your back, especially over 40, especially if you have a hard job that you're constantly tearing those little tiny muscles back there. You have to protect yourself. And who cares what you look like when you're doing it? If you have proper form, I'm telling you, there are people that have come in and they're like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do much today because I can barely walk because I've injured my back. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, how did you do that? Well, I bent over and grabbed this heavy box. And I bent over to the side and I picked the box up and my back was arched. And, they show me the way that they picked the box up off the ground. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Of course, because all it takes is one little tweak, one little thing where you're picking something up wrong, and that's too much pressure on that little tiny vertebrae back there, and your lower back muscles aren't strong enough to withstand the pressure either, and that's it. Boom, you're done. So you might fall right to the ground. You might have to be carried out, and you might not be able to stand up on your own because now you need to have that rehabilitated in a way of maybe a cortisone shot to get that inflammation down as quick as possible. And now you need to do hot cold therapy, relaxing the muscles with the hot, but the ice you need to every 15 minute increments, every hour or 2 hours. You can do the 15 minutes of ice and then the same kind of process with the heat because you want to relax the muscles that are tightened up and tensed around that vertebrae. And then you also need the ice to tell your body, hey, I need to cool it down over here. I need to send in all the nutrients and all the vitamins that I need into this area, all the oxygen and the blood, and I need it to come here quick. So that's what that cold therapy is going to be for the vertebrae part, but the heat therapy is going to be for the muscle. So if you're having any of those issues with your lower back, or it could be in your mid back, anywhere near the rhomboid area, the rhomboids are the muscles that run from the top of the neck all the way down to your booty, right to your tailbone. Your rhomboid muscle to the top of the tailbone, the rhomboid muscle is something that is really affected by hunching over throughout the day, hunching over in your chair, or hunching over when you're at work, whatever you're bending down, constantly bending down like this, when you should be bending down with swinging that butt back, going into a nice full squat, keeping those knees behind those toes. This is how you protect your spine. Keeping those knees behind those toes and squatting all the way down and picking whatever that thing is up. And then you're pushing through your heels when you stand back up. If you're picking up heavy things all the day, you're pushing through your heels before you stand back up, and then rotating at the hips if you're like picking up a bunch of heavy stuff and then rotating it like this, you're swinging it out, swinging that butt back, getting those knees behind those toes, keeping your head in line, pick that box up, and then stand up first and then rotate it to wherever you're taking it to or whatever you're stacking. That is how you save that lower back part. And then also always stretching. If you feel like fire is happening, there's like somebody that set fire to a certain part of your back, your lower back, your mid back, or up top where your shoulders. Maybe you keep your arms shrugged up like this and you're doing data entry or whatever the case, you stay shrugged up. A lot of people do that when they're stressed and they don't even realize that they're like tight and tense, and they keep their trapezoids just tight and tense. So what happens when you tighten and tense these trapezoid muscles, these muscles right here that are attached to your neck and your shoulder? What happens when you tighten those for hours on end on the day and then you don't ever you don't ever stretch them out? Of course it's going to tighten up. Of course it's going to get tightly wound, and then it's going to pull on your neck. You might have headaches, extreme headaches. Some of that could be because you have a tight, tense neck. You have a tight, your trapezoids. And how to fix that in a day is you put your arms behind your back if you can clasp them or grab onto them, however you might feel that you could do it behind your back. Get your arms behind your back, because you need to pull those shoulders down and get it a full stretch in the back. So now you can't shrug up when your arms are back here behind your back. Now they're locked tight behind you, right? So now they're locked in the lowest position that they can be, which is where you want your shoulders to be when you're stretching your neck. So when you're stretching your neck, you're just going to slightly bend it over. You're trying to get that ear to your shoulder. So you're trying to get that ear to the shoulder as much as you can, and you'll feel whether it's tight or not. You should feel it all through this side of your neck and then your trapezoid muscle. So you're stretching it as far as you can. I like to look at a clock with a hand that ticks, and trying to hold it for, you want to hold it for at least 20 seconds. If you can hold it for 30 seconds, even better. But holding that to the side and then straight up and down, and then other side, and then another great stretch, which is going to come across the front part of your neck into your chest muscle, which is what you also keep tense if you're doing data entry and you keeping your hands in a position like this. You don't think about it. You don't think about it because you're not like, oh, I went and worked my chest and my neck out today, so why am I tense? No, it can just simply be from a repetition of doing the same tightening movements, like holding your arms up to do your work at your desk. Maybe your chair isn't adjustable. Maybe you don't have the proper height to device, measurements. So you're holding your arms up, you're holding your everything up, and it stays tight because now you have to hold your arms inward like this to do your typing. So you're constantly tightening this. That's how your body moves, right? You're utilizing the muscles to get it to do the actions that you need it to do, keeping it in that 90-degree form like this, so you can type all of your stuff on this little tiny, your little tiny typing pad. So all you have to do is what I'm telling you. Pull your arms back behind you, and then you're doing your stretch. So you're doing ear to ear, ear to shoulder, right, is going to be your first one. And then once you do your ear to shoulder, then you want to slightly rotate your chin upwards. So before, your chin is going to be doing chin to shoulder down, and then you're going to rotate that chin to the sky like you're trying to kiss the clouds, in the same kind of position with your arms behind your back, making sure you're keeping those shoulders down and not shrugged up. And then you're tilting your head like that, and the same thing goes for the other side. You're doing your ear to your shoulder, and then you're going to shift that chin upwards to the sky like you're trying to kiss the clouds. And you're going to feel that nice deep stretch right here across your front part of your neck into your chest area, which is, you'll feel it attached to your rotator cuff. And that is a really good way to stretch out the neck and the trapezoids to keep you from getting those severe tense headaches. A lot of that is due to lack of water and tightness of the muscles, and it's causing a pain into the throbbing into your head, your temple, your temporal area because of the tightness in your neck. So those are just some quick little tips. And also the back. I've told you guys so many times about stretching that back is so important, and doing like a deep stretch where you're reaching up to touch the clouds in the sky at the ceiling, and then bending over and hinging at the hips and trying to reach down as far as you can to reach those toes. Maybe you can reach your knees, maybe not even, but your goal is to be able to touch your toes. That is good flexibility. So if you can't touch your toes, I implore you to do 1 whole minute of back stretching a day. That's it. 1 whole minute of just stretching up to the sky and bending down to try and touch your toes and holding it, dropping your head all the way down and just holding that stretch. Holding it as far as you can down, like you're stretching. That is going to keep your back nice and flexible. It's going to keep your hamstrings and your bands that go up the back of your back. It's probably going to release some tension you might have on your hips. And also stretching out your neck like that will also aid in your spine recovery too, because now you're not going to have such a tight neck and tight muscles around here pulling, rounding your shoulders forward. It's going to help you release that tension across your chest so you can have a nice elongated spine again. And having elongated spine is going to keep you healthy longer. You want to stay as healthy as you can be, right? And these are like tiny little things that help you along your way. And there's little tiny motions, little tiny minutes here and there scattered about that don't take a whole lot, but mean a whole lot to the success of your health. So why not do it, right? It's free to do. It's not going to take much time. If you're even sitting around waiting, right? And you're like, all right, I'm just going to do this quick stretch right here. Put your butt up against the wall, or just do it right in space. Hold your hands up high and then reach down low. So thank you, Hal. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments always. Anything over 45. I'm so sorry, you guys on TikTok and Instagram. I like try to back and forth it today, but I just didn't do it. And I really do appreciate you guys. I see you guys coming on there in the droves, and I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for tuning in to my podcast here. Yes. Hi, Betsy Lou. Cute name. So the podcast is all about uncovering the truths and the myths, the good, bad, and the ugly in the health, wellness, and beauty industry. So we dive deep here on this channel, Behind the Layers. And yeah, so we come here. It's Tuesday through Friday. I'm trying out a new time. I'm trying out a 2 to 4. I know a lot of people started doing a 12 to 2, 1 to 3. So I'm going to try out this 2 to 4 realm and see. And also I have brought on a couple more clients. So backing my podcast up is kind of an inevitable thing that I have to do in my daily schedule now. So I do appreciate you guys coming on and still sticking with me and being flexible with my times. If you missed the podcast, it should air back live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I think you can watch them back as many times as you want to. And they're all at Kara Chris TV. And I'm not sure. I think TikTok, I'm off live, I think it's off live. I don't think that they store it there on TikTok or on X. I think they are storing it. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look and see. But remember, we have the live workouts for subscribers on Facebook. I'm going to work that out on TikTok and see how we can make that happen over there. But right now it's just on Facebook, and it's during the weekdays, 11 and 12 o'clock, depending on the weekday. And I'm going to start some evening lives for those subscribers there as well. and that saves there too. So you can go back and do that same workout as many times as you want to do them. Those are just for subscribers though. So make sure you go over to @KaraChris TV on Facebook and you guys subscribe there, because we have a lot of fun. We got a lot of fun in the classes. So moving along, we are going to look at the resistant bands that I use. And those resistant bands are the ones that I put the links into. Bo, did you see the resistant band links on whatever platform you're watching on? I put them in here, but I'm not sure if they actually, I can try it again and see if it works out. Let's see. I put it in, they showed up on my Instagram, and I'm not sure about, let's see, let's go back here. Not seeing. Yeah, I don't see it. I know. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Tom. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the new follow. And yes, and thank you for saying you like my content. I really do appreciate that. I really do try and deep dive and get the best knowledge for you guys, and look up topics and listen to you guys that send me questions and want to know about certain things to my email, which is behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. You can send me messages. You can message me on whatever platform you're watching this from, but I do get a lot of different types of messages. So I'm just trying to filter through, but to know that you get directly to me, you can go to Behind the Layers podcast@gmail.com if you have a topic you want me to cover. So we had a discussion the other day about the different types of workouts, and some people were saying that, do you actually get a good workout from doing the chair and the wall workouts? And I say 1,000,000% you do. For women that are trying to build up their upper body strength and you are working towards doing that, I would say working on the wall workouts are a really great option to start with, because you are not asking to use 100% of your upper body for a push-up, and you're not, and even when you get on your knees and do a workout, that might also be something that is a little difficult for you. So to start out doing that wall push out, and you're going at maybe like a 30% incline, where you're stepping back, where I like to say it is step up to the wall, kiss the wall, right? And then take 2 steps back. 2 just regular steps back, and then arms on the wall, and you're doing your arms on the wall to where your palms are right on the outside, just to the outside of your shoulders. Not right here on the shoulders, but just to the outside of the shoulders, and then to the wall. So you're bringing it back like that. That's how I train my clients to do. That's how I think you would be great with, if you're at a starting point and you're trying to build those upper body muscles up. Doing it from the wall is a perfect place to do it. I know that some of my clients say they wanted to do wall workouts, but they have light colored walls and they don't want like oil prints or hand prints or whatever. But keep a magic eraser nearby if that's an issue, or wear gloves. But that's a great starting point, because it helps to build your muscles. You don't need any equipment. But if you want to do something that doesn't involve your wall, and you don't want or have space or have the money to buy a bunch of dumbbells, then another great option is what that I put in to the links. You don't see it there? Okay. Let me try. I put it over on the page on Instagram right now, and then I'll post them up later. These are the ones that I use. But the resistant bands, you guys, that is my go-to. If you don't have the money or you don't have the space and you still want a really good workout to build your muscles and tightening and toning and strengthening, then let me show you. Share screen. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to show you right now what those are. Okay, these are what I call just like the mini thin infinity bands. I don't use them a whole lot for the legs because they do roll. They tend to roll up like very easily on clients unless you're just like you have very tight muscles already and you don't have a lot of fat there. But if you still are holding on to a lot of fat in your leg area, these aren't going to work for you. They're not going to work for the legs. They will work for your arms, and these are the ones I are tried and true that my go-to bands. Let me move my face a little bit so you can see. Whoops. So you can see what these are called in case you just want to go look them up right now. Let me minimize it. There we go. So resistance, for those of you that are just on audio, resistance loop exercise bands. Those are the ones they come in a 5-pack and they are the thinner ones, but they go up to extra heavy. And I think it says the weight on them. I'm not quite sure if it does or not. Let me see. Oops, I'm trying to click on the wrong thing, you guys. Let's see. Here we go. So the extra light is going to be, is that on the screen? Hold on. Let me go back over. The extra light is going to be 10 to 18 pounds of resistance. The light is going to be 18 to 25 pounds resistance. The medium is 25 to 33 pound resistance. The heavy is 35 to 40 pound resistance, and the extra heavy is 40 to 48 pound resistance. So it's a pretty good resistance when you think about, they're just coming from a resistant band. But these are the ones I use mainly for the arms because, like I said before, if you try to do them on the leg, unless you stack them on the legs in a way that they're touching one another, that you can create like a longer band, like a longer resistant band. So like a thicker resistant band, they have to kind of be overlapping one another to give a good grip to stay in place. But it's such a hassle when you can just get these other resistant bands, which I'm going to show you. So here are some of the ways that you can use these before we move on to the next thing. So here are some of the ways that you can use these bands. Whoops. I do these leg kickbacks are really great for the glutes. These what do you call them? Mountain climbers, where you put it on the back. I only do one side at a time when I'm doing the mountain climber like that because it's like more of a slow and controlled move because it really rolls up easily on a lot of my clients. So I do it like that. And then mainly what I'm doing these for are the lateral muscles, which are these big muscles back here that, for us ladies, they call them the flappers because they'll hang over your sports bra or your bra, and they create kind of like a flap looking thing back there if it's not tightened. So I mainly work the tricep area, I work the bicep area, I work the shoulders, and I work the flappers, which are your your big muscles in the back. But I work those to tighten the muscles all around the arms, and then you can also use them at the ankles. I'll use them to work the saddlebag area on the outside of the thighs. So those are really great places to use those thinner bands like that. But to use the bands for leg training, like glutes, or really working those hip abductors to really strengthen up your hips and your legs, I would use a thicker band. And those thicker bands are going to look like this. Let me see. Resistance bands. Let's see what our options we have here. Can you see that on your page? Yeah, there we go. So the ones that I have right here, these long ones, are also in that list. See how they're the ones right here to the left? Those long ones are great for you stretch them up and you put them across your back like that, and then bringing them down the front of your legs for squats. So I use those for squats. Like I'll use those for squats, and I'll put my thumbs right here to hold them at the outside near my shoulders. So I use those for squats. So those are what the long ones for. Or I'll step on them in the middle and keep them even on both sides, and I'll swing my butt out, and I use them for the lateral muscles that way. Where I'm pulling them up like that, straight back and back down. So for lateral muscle workouts. And then almost like a dumbbell row for those of you listening on audio. And then remember, all of the things that I use, said and done, $50. Okay. So I use let's see, where is it? Right here, these thicker bands. These are the ones that I use for those thick ones right there at the top. Can you see that or no? Yeah. These thick bands right here at the top, the ones that I would use around the legs. I'll put like 4 inches above the kneecaps. And then I use those a lot for the hip abductors and for the glutes for my squats. So those are really great ones. And this set comes with 3 of the thick bands that go around your legs and then 3 of the long bands. So that's a great deal. I'm gonna actually clip that. And this is called fabric resistant bands. The other ones are latex resistant bands. So if you're looking for the ones that I'm talking about right now, they're called fabric resistant bands for workout. And this one gives you the 3 booty bands. Those are 3 booty bands, and then you get the 3 longer bands that you would maybe do squats and stuff for. Let me see what the resistance is on this. Okay, so for the lightweight booty band, the fabric one, so if you're going to look those up, the fabric one, the lightweight one is going to be 15 to 30 pounds. The medium one is going to be 25 to 40 pounds. And then the heavy one is going to be 40 to 65 pounds. So 40 is going to be, the bare minimum of the resistance. And then if you can get it to stretch all the way out, then you're pushing 65 pounds, which is pretty good for a band. I mean, for not having any workout equipment, and to use those is amazing. But then the other, for the longer bands, also the fabric one, you've got 15 to 30 pounds for the lightweight. So it seems to be around the same. They're the same, 15 to 30 pounds for the lightweight, 25 to 40 for the medium, and then 40 to 65 for the heavy. And these are great because you can use these anywhere. You can take them anywhere. They're so easy to travel, so easy to store. You don't have to have like a whole big rack for all of the dumbbells and all the stuff that you have. You can simply just have these bands anywhere and tuck them away, and they're great for great use. But I love these bands. These are some of my go-tos. So if you are going to become a member of my online gym and do workout classes with me, it might be in your best interest to go ahead and get these bands. And so then you'll be ready for any kind of workout that we're going to be doing with the bands. So the ones that I put up on Instagram are going to be the workout bands that I just showed you, and then I'll put them up on TikTok and X and YouTube. And YouTube, they're already up under my bio. Everything that I use is there, and from my skincare to my makeup to everything that I use is on my YouTube page, and that's at Kara Chris TV. And you have to put the @ symbol, otherwise it does not take you there. It's like it doesn't exist or something, which is very interesting and very frustrating at the same time. But yes, so those are the other ones. The ones you saw me doing and using in the video, I actually haven't used those in a while because of the need to use them also with a pair of gloves that have a grip on them, because they slip easily. So I have stopped using those in my workouts. Now that I am remembering that I just showed you guys those. Let me see which ones. These guys right here, the ones to the far right. I don't use those anymore. These are actually really great for rehabilitation though. I really do like these bands for rehabilitation. But I'm just a sweaty being. Like, I get sweaty very easily. And when I get sweaty, my palms are sweaty. When my palms are sweaty, then I can't grip the band very well anymore. So I end up losing my grip on that. And unless I have on my workout gloves that have like a gel grip right here, which are really good to have anyway if you are in the gym and you're someone that works out in the gym and you use the barbells a lot, barbells or even dumbbells. It's nice to have a nice solid grip that don't slip around in your hands. but the ones with a grip on them are great for the workouts. And those is something you have to use these types of bands right here. If you're a sweaty person, and when you're working out with me, you're going to get sweaty. So that's the only reason I stopped using these bands, is just because they kept slipping. And I didn't always want to have my gloves at the ready um, to do my workout with. So I didn't want that to be another thing you have to make sure you have while you're doing your workout. So there's other great options. That's the only reason I don't use those anymore. But for rehabilitation, I do like these a lot, because you're not really doing, and the reason I'm saying rehabilitation is because you're not really doing a lot of hardcore sweating workouts. You're just really going through motions and movements to rehabilitate the muscles and the ligaments in the area. So in that case, it's good to go, because you're not getting sweaty anyway. So, you're fine. You're fine. It's good. You want to do it. But for the ones that I'm showing you that I'm going to be working out and using are the 3 links to the bands I just showed you, which are the thin little infinity bands right here. Okay. These resistance loop exercise bands. I'm pretty sure they're made of latex. Resistance loop exercise bands. Okay. Remember, the links to the ones specifically that I use, I'm going to put those up. So just be looking for that. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, or follow the channel, please do so. I put up constant content that is going to help you living your best life from the inside out without breaking the bank. It's either going to be free or low cost to you for whatever the thing is, or it's just simply showing you how to tweak your life already that you're living, and living your best life with little tweaks here and there, living your best life from the inside out. So please do hit that like, subscribe button, follow, or if you know anybody that needs some guidance and some motivation and a place to come where they're going to get great knowledge and tried and true, good, wholesome knowledge from somebody who actually does a deep dive and knows their facts from all of my licensing and all of my expertise and my professional advice from me to them, to you. Please do. Sharing is caring. Send this podcast or send this channel to them. This is being streamed Tuesday through Friday on YouTube at Kara Chris TV, but I also tried to stream it out to all the platforms that I'm on, which is X, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I feel like I'm leaving something out because there's so many these days. I think that's it right now. At Kara Chris TV. So I think YouTube is the only one you have to put the at symbol, Kara Chris TV, on the rest of them. But I do try and stream them out to all platforms. It doesn't always show up, but on YouTube, that is the tried and true where you're going to get the information from. It's also where all the videos are saved. All the videos that I show on my site or my channel are saved under the podcast list for podcast info vids. Is going to be in the playlist under there. And I have all the links to all the things that I use like daily. It's what I personally use. So I know that I would never ever ever suggest anything to you guys that I have not personally used or presented to my clients to use. You're going to get the 100% raw, real facts here. So if you know anybody that's looking for that kind of motivation and guidance, please send them to my channel. I am all for helping people on their journey to living their best life, because we get this life, right? We're not guaranteed another life. So our next life as Christians is the life that we will receive in heaven. And assuming that you've lived a nice, wholesome, good life, or at least tried or asked for forgiveness of your sins at some point throughout your life before perishing, hopefully. But as you guys know, we are rolling into this lentil season. Today is Fat Tuesday. And why do they call it Fat Tuesday? Because tomorrow is Ash Wednesday and the start of the lentil season. So 40 days and 40 nights, just like Jesus through the desert, we are giving up something that is near and dear to us. So whatever that might be for you guys, and whatever your spiritual journey might be, it's a beautiful time, the lentil season, and to really start to dig inward and get a deeper grounding root for who you are in this world. What is it that you are trying to be about? Just a cleansing of the soul, giving something back to your maker, to the person who protects you and guides you and keeps you out of harm's way. We all are given a guardian angel at birth, and that guardian angel does so much for us. And I always like to pay homage to my guardian angel, and saying thank you so much for protecting me. It's just kind of a time where you get to look inward and really start to grow and level your spiritual game up. So in this next 40 days, it's giving up something that you love the most, or those things that you love the most. Some people give up um, alcohol, some people give up cigarettes, some people give up cursing, or some people give up selfish pleasures like spending money on themselves, or wine and dining themselves. Some people give up fried foods. It could boil down to the foods that they eat, fried foods or sweets or carbs or anything like that. Things you love the most that you really enjoy and indulge in, then giving those things up. And that's what you're doing for the next 40 days until you hit Easter, where we celebrate the coming of Jesus. And it is a beautiful time for Christians and Catholics. When I converted to Catholicism, when I got married, it was, I don't know, I felt a deeper connection than growing up in the Church of Christ. And my father being a preacher, I just don't understand why we never did Lent, like celebrated Lent like the Catholics do. And I just find it, I don't know, like a deeper connection to my faith, and I love that. So anybody that wants to know, you should look it up in the Lenten season, or there is a app that you can download. Oh my gosh, I just forgot. Hallow is the app. Hallow is an app that kind of guides you through the Lenten season, and it gives you like daily inspiration and daily guidance and motivation and scripture that kind of it hits different when you're getting a daily guidance, and almost you find a message that's it's strangely speaks to you. So it's really a great app to have, and that's called Hallow. And there's 90 days for free if you sign up for the app. So you get 90 days for free to try it out. And I don't even think you put your credit card in there. So it's not like you have to remember to go back and cancel. It's literally like they give you the 90 days to see how you like it, see how much you're checking in. You can even start a spiritual journey, like a 3-day journey or a 5-day journey or a week-long journey. And you can share it with a loved one. So sharing it with a loved one and you guys kind of do it together is really cool. You can read the notes from the other person or a friend, anybody that you know is like going through a tough time and you want to help them along. This is a great way to do it. But let me get off this page. This is a great way to connect with them and let them know that you're there for them, and also that they're not alone. So being a Christian means something beautiful like that you're not alone on this journey, and you're not walking alone ever. That it even shows, I know a lot of Bible photos, and it talks the scripture about, never traveling alone. And it shows two sets of footsteps, and then going through a tough time, only one set of footsteps. And the meaning behind it is because God is Jesus, or God, whomever is carrying you, your guardian angel. So you don't even have to, they will carry you through the hardest and the toughest times when you can't carry yourself. So it's a beautiful message, and I really love sharing my faith with people, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have it, and then they feel lost, and their guidance is lack thereof. And being that we're reading this book about gratitude and your journey through gratitude in your life, and how gratitude brings such beautiful benefits in your life, and a lot of it attests to what you put out is what you get back. So the beautiful thing about sharing positivity and sharing gratitude and sharing your faith is that you might be speaking to someone who needs to hear it right now. Maybe they're lost and maybe they just need some direction and guidance. Maybe they're so sad and feeling like there's no way out, and there's the way out is through. So going into the realm where you are finding a way through it, and you don't feel like you can walk that walk alone, then turning to God is a great way to do it. Or even talking to your guardian angel, which you may have neglected your whole entire life. But there's no better time than the present, and Hallow is a great app to do that. And also another great sponsor, you guys, bring you back in, the Metamucil. You guys remember at the very beginning, but I have to mention it twice, is Metamucil is for having regular bowel movements, and your regular bowel movements cannot happen unless you eat enough fiber. So if you don't eat enough fiber and you want something that's safe for you and your kids, Metamucil is the way to go. This is the orange flavor. It tastes kind of like Tang or Sunny D for all you old schoolers. It is low in sugar and it is really yummy. You have to drink it up fast, but you kind of want to because it tastes so good. It really does. It tastes really yummy. So you take one of these a day. It's safe to take. It's not going to give you like laxatives. It can be very hard on the bowels. So, and the muscles around it. So taking a laxative is not going to be the same as taking Metamucil. Metamucil is a fiber replacement, and it is really good for you and good for your kids if they aren't getting enough fiber in their diet too, because you need to get that stuff out. It's waste. It's called waste. It's supposed to be dumped out of your body and not stay in your body. And who knows, you're going to lose some lbs on top of it if you're taking this and you are someone who, doesn't go regularly. You should be going at least once a day, if not twice a day. So you definitely need to keep enough fiber. That's how you get it moving through your body. Fiber and water. Those are the two things that are going to get the waste out of your body, fiber and water. So if you're not getting enough fiber, please do check out Metamucil. They constantly have deals on their website too, on the factory website for Metamucil, and you can snag one of those factory coupons and use it in the store. But it is delicious and nutritious. Let's just put it that way. So that is going to be it for today, you guys. I will be back on here tomorrow, and we will have a whole new topic for tomorrow. So please do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell wherever you are, so you can be here to join in on these topics yourself. I'm going to try and pull this whole TikTok thing up so I can get back and forth on tomorrow. But if you really want to come through with the comments, you need to have it pulled up on YouTube. And that is where I'm streaming this from. So that's at Kara Chris TV. And again, if you want to sign up for the live workouts, that's going to be over on Facebook at Kara Chris TV. And that's it for today's topic, you guys. I'm really grateful to have you here. I'm very grateful to have you here and joining in on this with me. This is a dream for me to be able to share my knowledge and all of my expertise in helping you live your best life from the inside out, without breaking the bank and even saving you money. So be sure to definitely like, subscribe, and follow. And thank you so much, Bo, for being here to help me out with keeping this on track. And Hal, as always, thank you for supporting me in this dream of mine. You are always the most supportive, and I'm so grateful. So grateful for you. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. God with you guys that are going through these fires. May God be with you. I'm going to be praying for you, praying for these fires to be put out by this rain that is coming through North Carolina. I tell you, from the east to the west, North Carolina needs prayers for those people that got all that water dumped on them and the flooding taking away their homes during those hurricanes, to now the fires. North Carolina state needs your prayers along with California. So you guys, prayers out to everyone that is a victim of these fires, and may God be with you. Until I see you tomorrow, have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.